Welcome back. You're watching Business Morning on Channels Television. We turn our attention to a very interesting segment of the economy that has seen quite a number of issues coming out since the year 2016. I'm talking about the maritime industry. I'm being joined on the program by the CEO of Maritime Media, Asu Bex, as we take a look at some of these issues. So good morning to you, Mr. Bex. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's great to have you on the show. Now, the maritime industry has not been immune to the situations and issues that have come up in the economy this year, talking about the recession. But how has the industry fared in the face of various economic and monetary policies?
Yes, we have not done very well, even though we have seen some, vibrant CEOs at the NIMASA and NPA. But the industry, as usual, is bedeviled with inconsistencies in the government policies. When one government comes in, they want to throw away what the other started and want to come up. In fact, what we are even hearing from the NPA, which I don't want to believe, is that the new tariffs are going to be rolled out by the Nigerian Ports Authority. Not at this time. You see, because what we really fail to understand is that each time you are coming out with that, at the end of the day, it is you and I that will bear the brunt. And at the time that there's a downturn in the activities at our ports because of bottlenecks. Have you been to Apapa or Tinkan lately? Those roads are not passable, and you begin to wonder. For instance, the customs at Apapa and Tinkan alone generate in the neighborhood of 60 billion naira a month. Yet government cannot put 1 billion to fix that road. And so, you see, these are the challenges we'll continue to have. But I'm sure that with the Ports and Harbour Bill that is in the National Assembly, some of these challenges, I'm sure, will be addressed when that bill is passed.
Talk to us about the new tariffs. You mentioned it when you started speaking. Well, let's even know what the old tariffs are and what this new tariffs being proposed will be.
Well, we don't know. We have not seen. And you see, there are a lot of charges. You see, the average importer in Nigeria is made to pay multiple charges. And until the tariffs are rolled out, we won't know what they are. But my major concern, and the major concern of most maritime stakeholders, is this policy that was announced a couple of weeks ago, excuse me, that imported cars cannot be cleared through our land borders. It is ridiculous. In the year 2016, a government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is coming out with such a policy. How did they arrive at that? Who did they consult? Where were the stakeholders? Was the National Assembly consulted? These are things that we are looking at.
Let me ask a very seemingly easy question.
Yes.
You are in the maritime industry, and this ban affects land. So what really is the issue for the maritime industry, for stakeholders?
You see, we have three major entry points for anybody who wants to either bring in or export goods out of the country: the seaports, the airports, and the land borders. And so we are asking, because I just gave you an example of the Apapa and Tinkan ports. So how do we even access those ports with the very bad roads? And then you are asking people to restrict importation to the ports. Meanwhile, what have you done if the issue is smuggling, that the customs has not been able to address smuggling? How many custom officers have you prosecuted for aiding smuggling? That's one thing. And then secondly, now under the regime of the past Controller General of Customs, Diko Abdullahi, in I think about 2013 or so, he bought about 200 patrol vehicles to help the activities of its officers in combating smuggling. And we're talking about 2016. Now, in the past 3 years, Customs has not bought even one patrol vehicle. In fact, as we speak, even the 3 aircrafts, 2 helicopters and 1, jet that was purchased to do surveillance across the borders to aid the anti-smuggling activities, the present Controller General of Customs, Hamid Ali, is about to auction them. And so we now ask, are we moving forward or moving backwards? That's one aspect. Then we talk about the issue of the safety and security of officers. Over 70 custom officers have been killed have been felled by smugglers in the past 1 year. Have you heard it on the national news? No. And what is the welfare? It will surprise you to know, Harriet, that the custom man earns less than even the civil defense, the road safety, the police. An average custom area controller takes home about less than 400,000 naira a month, which is what a level 8 or 9 officer in NPA takes home. So what are we saying is that you need to motivate these officers to do more.
So let's put this in perspective now. Are you holding brief for the Nigerian customs?
No, I'm not.
Speaking generally to the maritime.
Generally speaking, what we are saying is that in the maritime sector, when we talk about one of those highest revenue generating agencies is the Nigerian customs.
Okay.
So why don't you pay? Then we can hold them accountable if they don't do what is right. If they're involved in things like corruption or whatever, then we can hold them accountable. Otherwise, the way we are going, if you ask me, if you don't want to give them a living wage, then let's legalize corruption.
So for you,
within the customs.
In 2016, was there a thorough engagement of agents, custom officers, all those stakeholders in the maritime industry? Was there a thorough engagement with the federal government, agencies, and the stakeholders?
No, we have not had, but we used to have that when the former CG, Diko Abdullahi, was around. He used to have this regular engagement with officers. But the present CG, maybe because of his military background, is finding it very, very, very difficult to have that engagement that will resolve most of these issues that we are seeing. So that is the challenge we are having. And we are appealing to Mr. President to please keep talking to him, because we know the man, they say he's incorruptible, the man is a thorough, he has a fine military background, all of that. But we are talking about